All the time you get it.
All right, so we rolled up to Jason's shop, Fat Fender Garage, and we got a couple cool trucks that we came with. Roman just popped up. So Jason, what are we gonna do over here? You gonna show us around?
Hey, we're gonna take you inside and show you around. It's end of the day on a Thursday. Some of the guys just went to take the trailer over to the get down and kind of stage a little bit.
The Dino's mostly Chevy only?
Dino's mostly Chevy only. Now that we got some Fords going to show up, but I'll kind of show you some stuff out here in the parking lot. It's kind of fun. And I want to show you this truck here. This is a 1956 Ford F100 short bed, stake bed, which they didn't make a lot of short bed stake beds. That was kind of a rare thing, and a half-ton pickup truck. So this guy bought it. He fell in love with it. It was kind of that, you know, that pale yellow color anyways. And he came over to the shop and he goes, I want to build this thing and I want to put a Coyote in it. And this is about 5 years ago, and this was at the time probably one of the nicer builds that I had actually done. And so it really was going to stretch me and push me. Plus I'd never done any kind of a Coyote swap, nor had I done an LS swap. It was just all carbureted motors, and I thought, great, let's try it, let's see what happens. And so this is the first one we did. He wanted it OSHA yellow. Well, it turns out OSHA yellow wasn't bright enough for him, and so we found a toner that was straight yellow called bright yellow, and we actually just used that toner only. Didn't mix it with anything else, and he wanted to be super bright yellow, and this is what he got. The wood bed is an actual shape and design of the original Ford, but we made it all out of walnut, finished it.
You know a good woodworker?
We have a few guys we know. And we remade these because the other ones were pretty beat up. We remade this little locking clasp and put it all back together. Turned out super cool. He likes it. He goes to a lot of shows. It came with the spotlights originally, and so he of course wanted to have these put back in, which the only time we've done spotlights in anything, and what an actual pain in the neck. I actually don't love putting spotlights in anything. Very cool guy. He brought it back actually just for a little TLC. He's got several thousand miles on it. He takes it to shows, and but now that he's been driving it, he just had a couple of things he wanted to do. We moved the gas pedal for him and fixed a couple hoses in there, and so good to go. Another truck for...
Well, what about under the hood?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Gosh. That's what everybody's over here to see. Coyote headquarters, right? That's what we've been told.
So, the very first one we've ever done. So this is what the very first one looked like for us. And we learned a lot since then. But you can check that out.
Man, that thing looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's not too bad, is it?
So Gen 1, I like that you painted it not too much. It's just like a perfect little balance.
Yeah, just a little balance.
Looks great.
We covered up the wiper motor.
Okay.
He actually does a lot of the coffee systems and a lot of the Circle K's and stuff around here, and services, all those. So he does a lot of coffee, so we put Dr. Java on it for him.
I like that.
He came in, we put a new radiator hose in here for him. We actually changed it, so we actually had a pre-formed hose, but I think this wasn't maybe the best idea 5 years ago. It seemed to be wearing out a little bit, so we changed this and put that piece in there. A couple little quirky things. This is before we had our own radiators, and so we had like a Griffin radiator we installed and welded some brackets on it, and it's a cross flow. We do things a little bit differently now, but a lot the same as well. You can see our intake, we kind of snaked it around. We did that 2 or 3 times, and before we end up changing that as well. And so at the end of the day, it runs pretty good. He likes it, and also a super cool guy. We don't, it's fun to see him come back and they don't hate us, right?
Absolutely. You build a quality product that sticks around.
We've got a few that probably do hate us out there, which is fine. We do our very best, and we can't keep everybody happy, but at the end of the day we try to make them good. A very cool truck here as well. I'm not a fan of these reverse tilts, but here we are.
Seems like every Fat Fender kind of needs them though.
They kind of like them, but this is a very just traditional hot rod style. Pretty cool, runs good. We've put about 400 miles on this and 450. I think we're ready to sell it, or
Give it to the
I think
customer.
we're ready to give it back to the customer. He'd be really pissed if we sold it. Super,
Contact
super,
Jason with
super
offers.
Nice build and very cool. We've gotten into Broncos. This has a 302. It's built, but it's just not enough power. And so we're going to do a Coyote swap in this, and then also build kits and stuff for Broncos. That a guy's got a Bronco, he wants to do his own Coyote swap in it. We'll have all the components you'll be able to buy.
And you're getting more and more into all the different models.
Yes,
and
all makes and models. Yep. So we've got a truck here that we sent to Louisiana. He drove it for a show, and a couple little quirky things. So honestly, I just had him ship it back rather than deal with, trying to have someone else deal with it over there. So we helped finish up on this one, do an interior on that one. Just kind of walk through our back lot, which is basically future projects, things to start. Coyote swaps, we'll start getting in those. This is my shop truck. Coyote swap. This is I'm supposed to actually start that. I need to get that started, but we're gonna do a restoration on it, not a Coyote swap. But I gotta get that started. This is an OBS, a 96. We're gonna probably in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna start tearing this apart and designing all the components you need to do a Coyote swap. What fuel pumps you need to swap out in your tanks, and still, run the original tanks and everything, so that you can just basically make it as simple as possible. Radiators, mounts, exhaust, all the things you need to make a Coyote swap. So we got that to start. We've got another Bronco service truck in the back. This is a Ferrari, so hopefully in the next month or two this is going to get put inside, and this will be a 1956 Ferrari. Step back here. This is where the guys do all the body work. So we got a C10 here. We're not just Ford guys. Matter of fact, I would say most of my body shop guys are actually C10 guys, and so they like it. Chevy loving back here, definitely.
That's why you keep them in the back, right?
Yeah. And so this is going to be a super nice truck. The body work on this is just really exceptional. This one's going to be super cool. I'm excited for this one. Very, very cool customer. A patina style Coyote swap. The bed that belongs to that. See these guys here? And then this is the shop where we kind of do a lot of the fabrication and all the stuff that has to be done. These lifts right here, this is kind of more of where we might do some general maintenance and stuff. All the full builds that we're working on kind of stay over here, assembly, and then we'll put them on the lift when we need it. But we kind of have two aspects of the shop: full builds, and then the guys that come in that just need some stuff done. Cool truck over here is this one that the guy actually bought a lot of our components to build his truck and had it in several shops, but as you know, sometimes it can be difficult and challenging, so you'll do a Coyote swap, and then it gets to the point where it becomes a little bit difficult. So this has a Gen 2 Coyote 6-speed transmission, and then it also has a Whipple Stage 2 supercharger. It's got the power by the hour front runner system here. It's got our radiator in here, and so we're basically to the point where all this stuff will go over here. We got to build the intake, and we're just kind of wrapping up a few little things. You can see we've got the intercooler in here, the AC condenser, and all these are brackets that we've designed and made to all kind of work together. And so hopefully in another couple of weeks we'll be able to fire this thing up. 2 weeks, you think? A couple of weeks? I think you got your AN fittings they shipped, so you might see those tomorrow. You can see that the big dash 16 AN fittings going to the...
Dude, those are huge.
They're huge. That's what he put on there. It's gonna run.
It'll flow.
It's gonna flow.
It's gonna flow.
It's got a lot. So we'll go ahead and use it up. He had this little radiator in here, and he had ours. He purchased, and so we swapped that out. He's got our headers on it. He's got a lot of components, our AC stuff as well. And so, but again, he had it in several different shops, and he just had a hard time finding a shop that could figure out how to put it together. So he shipped it here. And
do you take customers from all over, like, or they have to kind of be in Arizona?
No, most of the people are from all over. As far as, you know, New York, Mexico, we've had people, you know, ship us stuff, and we've got from Louisiana, we've got Alabama.
So anywhere.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it might cost you $1,500 no matter where you are just to ship your vehicle here, if you're on the East Coast, you know. So maybe less, you know, but if you're gonna then ship it back, it'll be enclosed, so you can ship it open. You know, just get it out here, we'll get it, take it apart, build it. And so so people come from all over. The time frame it varies depending upon the project. We're booked usually anywhere from 3 to 6 months on average, you know, before we can like take on new builds. And so I'll be honest with you, that does vary a little bit depending upon the build too. If it's a full build, then I probably, you know, I got to schedule with you. We got to order the frame up, you know, get the motor. Kind of that takes 2 or 3 months. That kind of burns up some time. So,
but they don't have to ship the project right away.
You don't have to ship the project right away. So we can actually get some of those things kind of going and moving, and kind of make plans. If you live in the East Coast, or you live where it snows a lot, maybe you want to ship it about the time, you know, it's gonna snow, you know, and then just get it
ready
for the
summer or something.
Yeah, and then we can work on it and get it going. But you know, most of the stuff we do is a lot of full builds and a lot of partial builds and a lot of chassis swaps. We'll come over here and I'll kind of show you what a chassis looks like. So we got the guys huddled up. It's the end of the day. If they were allowed to drink beer here, they'd probably all be drinking right about now. Especially weeks like this. Yeah, especially weeks like this. So this is a full chassis for 53 to 56. This one's being sold. It'll be complete. You'll have the motor, the Whipple supercharger, the front runner kit by Power by the Hour, all the internals with the MMR components and billet parts were all swapped out. We get the billet oil pump gears, the billet timing chain, the hydraulic tensioner, all that stuff's been, you know, all swapped out for good quality parts. And then we'll have headers, exhaust system will be done. We'll have a drive shaft in here. You'll literally have all the fuel line, brake line ran, basically to the point where he's ready to start putting sheet metal on here and then start wiring it up. And so I think they want to mock up one time. They're getting ready to paint their components. I think they want to mock up one time, make sure everything fits, and then from there they're ready to paint. It's going to be a super powerful truck, a lot of power. The chassis will hold it. And if you kind of notice our chassis system, we're able to hide a lot of stuff inside the frame because we got these little windows, and then we got more windows here we can get our hands in, and then we're all plumbed. We got our fuel line that will come right through here, come out, whip over, and then it'll plug into the fuel rail, and then he'll be set. And so, but it keeps a lot of the stuff as you run the exhaust, it keeps a lot of the stuff internal inside, also allows us to powder coat inside the frame as well, so it makes it a little bit better. Of course, we use a void tank that they make for us specifically for how we like to build our chassis, to have everything go together. So there's a lot going on here.
Can you tell me about that Bronco behind you? That thing is cool.
There's a ton of stuff. Yeah, let's go check out this Bronco. So
I'm a sucker for those second gen.
Yeah, so this is a Bronco second gen 78, 79, and we are basically, if we didn't anticipate going through the whole thing like we have, but when we were checking out the rear end on this, making sure everything's good, when we drained the fluid on it, water came out, and there was a horizontal line halfway up through the gears and through the axles that was completely rusted below and fine above. And so we thought we'd check the front, and sure enough, exact same thing. So this had been sitting in water for a long time, just getting beat up. And so he bought it as a running, driving vehicle. And so what happens when you buy these vehicles, they look good online, you buy them, they do move, but what are you truly getting? And so he's had to go through and completely rebuild the front and rear end on this, and basically had to go through everything at this point. So this actually will have, at the end of the day, all the electrical is just about done.
That's how you do a wiring job, guys.
And all AC system by Rustomod Air. We actually have designed brackets for Broncos, because he's going to run the Mustang seats in here, so we had to design a different bracket. And we've got in here a Gen 3 truck motor with 10-speed automatic with an Atlas transfer case. So we're basically down to where we need to figure out how we're going to make this run. One thing that is difficult with the truck motors is that the firing order is different, and so you can't use a control pack on it. Technically speaking, you can't use a control pack. So we are going to, I have ordered in the power side of the wiring harness. We're going to take a look at it and see if it's something that we can make our own version of the control pack, because Ford does not support truck motors, only car motors, which is unfortunate. I wish they would support it with their control packs.
They're cheaper and more readily available.
They are. And so I know Power by the Hour and Lund Racing has been working on a system that I think they figured out with a little bit of work, which is great. Between Lund and Power by the Hour and us, seems like we're always trying to work, and we actually work together on a lot of stuff, and we like to share our knowledge with each other as well, because we want to advance the market and make sure it's working. And so I can't do everything, and neither can Power by the Hour, and so, you know, I kind of will try to lean on them for a little more of the electrical side of things, and certain things that I just don't want to make. I can't make everything. So we make the things that where there's a hole, not where there's a duplicate, and so it's just a little bit easier to kind of...
Why be competition?
Yeah, exactly. And so we try to scratch each other's back a little bit and help each other. So I am looking at maybe taking a wiring harness and rewiring it and to see if that's even possible, but might be just for my own knowledge more than it is something I would actually want to sell. I don't know, but I know there's a hole in the truck motor market, and just kind of working through it. So Broncos here, 1st gen, 2nd gen, and we got even the 5th gen Broncos that we're working on putting Coyote motors in.
Really?
As well, and so OJ Broncos. And so we've got two. We got a customer that wants to do 2 at the exact same time, and so at the same time they're doing that, I'm deciding that I'm actually going to do the OBS trucks, and we'll figure all that out, and we'll do all 3 of those exact same time and figure that out. So like I said, it's after hours. Guys are still here working. Everyone works really hard here and does a really good job.
Let's see the Fab side over here.
Want to go see Fab?
Yeah.
All right, let's go see Fab.
Sounds like you were going to cut us off. Come on.
I was probably going to cut you off because we do this all day long.
Yeah, but I don't see this all day long. Look at these tools, guys.
It's just work for me.
Yeah.
So
you were skipping right by full chassis, Coyote trucks.
Cool
Gosh.
chassis here. We've got this cool truck here. This truck's going to be really, really awesome. Oh, he's got something in there. And this truck's going to be super cool. If you kind of take a look at the front end, it's going to have a Mustang GT front end. The chin spoiler's off it, but we got a 3/8 piece of aluminum that goes underneath there, and it'll all be meshed in there with a large honeycomb, very similar to like the GTs. We're going to have basically some fresh air that they can pull right in here, right over the wheels. We call it the brake duct scoop air sucky thing. We're putting a different hood latch in here, one that opens from the inside, so you can't just come over here and pop it and have access to it. Be a little bit more secure. This is kind of a, you can kind of see we've got, this is a little guide piece where this will go here. There'll be louvers, and once we get the holes cut and figured out, then we'll come test the part. We actually have the parts already made, but we don't want to bring it out here and scratch them all up because they're really expensive, and so we're going to take care of that until we're ready. So a lot of cool fab here. As far as equipment goes, band saws, you know, I forget everything.
Yoder.
By the end of the day, my brain is,
it's like 6 o'clock, guys.
shot. So
catch Jason in the morning.
Catch me in the morning. I'm good. So
no caffeine. So like
a little bit of machine
lathe,
type stuff here. You've got the bandsaw. You've got a pole max.
Grinders.
Another sander. I need to upgrade our drill. That really needs to go back to my wood shop, but I brought it over here. This is kind of a welding table. Well, they'll set up and weld. We'll weld headers. We got these little screens. We'll kind of screen in. Welders, magnetic brake. This is actually a new shear we got, and I've actually been pretty happy with. I don't even know how you say that.
Bailey? Bailey? I say Bailey.
I say Bailey too. But somebody here was here the other day. They're like, Bali. I was like, am I saying it wrong?
I'm pretty sure it's Bailey.
I'm pretty sure it's Bailey. Okay. So correct us if we're making a mistake.
Comment down below what it should be, even though comments we could read and not hear.
I believe it's a Bailey, and so I've been really happy with their product, and I think for the money it's pretty hard to beat. It's pretty good value.
And it's professional quality. That's the difference. You guys use them, you know, at home you might not need something that's such a nice tool, but you use them all the time.
Other things are fine. But this has been pretty good. A good shear. It will actually shear 16 gauge.
Wow.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And maybe not all the way across, and maybe got to get 2 big boys out here on it to, you know, cut it. But you know, the bead roller, and again, we're always upgrading our fab stuff. One thing that I was surprised with, Solomon, is how expensive fab equipment is.
Oh yeah.
Like,
but I think fab work is so expensive.
Holy cow! Like, yeah. So when you're purchasing stuff, like, I mean, it's unbelievable. My pole max is, you know, 60 years old, and I still paid $5,000 for that thing.
Imagine if you had to buy a new one.
Right. It's a really cool new tool we purchased. And basically, you just pull this handle down. You have to have it bolted down, and it actually just punches a hole. Nice. So instead of getting a drill out and drilling a hole, you can punch a hole. You got different sizes. It'll do it for Clinkos and all that other stuff. And so, again, a lot of little things that I'm really into tools and equipment myself. And so anytime I can, you know, we talk about stuff and get some new stuff. I definitely want to get like a larger finger brake, and I definitely want to get like a hydraulic press brake, and you know, some of those little things that would be helpful. You know,
the real question is, can we see the rest of these trucks?
You want to see more?
Yeah, come on.
All right, more trucks. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, so
you're over here thinking that these trucks aren't cool.
You know, I just all the time I'm here doing this all the time. So
you have to see these every day.
I see this every day. I do it every day. So this is actually belongs to a guy in Alabama. Brand new chassis, brand new exhaust, Gen 3, 10-speed automatic, Coyote motor. Everything's installed. And this one, we tried to keep it simple. If you take a look right here, here's where we actually put the computer.
Nice.
Right there.
That's a good spot.
Hidden in the box, so it kept it without having the big clunkiness of it there. Tried to keep it as streamlined as we can, but also practical too. So cutting the wires and extending everything actually takes a long time. And so, and there's room for air. And so this one basically just plugs in right here, ended up being a perfect spot. This is a super cool truck. It's a 1968 Raven Black original paint. And so we are just wrapping up.
Dude, this is gonna be a nice interior. It's gonna sound real nice and quiet too.
It'll be really nice. So
what kind of matting is that on the floor? I haven't seen it.
So this belongs to Restomod Air. Okay. And so this is their what they call membrane. Okay. And the difference with Restomod Air, really compared to a lot of the other stuff, is it's actually like the kind of that butyl layer that you have, and then a layer of foam, and then another butyl layer, and then the aluminum.
Huh.
Okay, and it's that foam that's in there that acts like a thermal break. And so that thermal break is actually what's stopping the heat to penetrate through. So if you're just buying regular sound deadening material, it has zero to do with heat.
You have to do a separate layer.
You got to do a separate layer of foam or something to actually stop the heat from coming through. And so with this, it actually allows us to do the same thing at the same time. Put this in, it's a little bit thicker, and it's, you know, just, in my opinion, just kind of a one and done. Depends on the application and the truck, but we will occasionally put another layer of foam sometimes on the headliner area if we feel like we really need to cut the heat down. Some of these trucks can get hot when you only have one layer of metal.
Especially a black truck in the Arizona heat.
Yeah. So
is this a chassis truck or just a drop?
No, this is just drop I-beams, and honestly, there's two companies that I know of that make the drop I-beams. There's Airbag It makes a set, and then there's DJM. And I've used both. I will only use DJM. The way they lower, the way the coils fit and everything, it's the best out there that I've experienced. So I've used both, and we actually have only found success using the DJM. And so
what kind of power plants do they got?
So what we got in here is
another Coyote. Surprise, surprise.
Coyote. So this is pretty cool.
You know what's crazy, Jason? I go to a lot of shops.
Yeah.
Most shops you go to, it's like they're doing a Coyote swap, and then you come here and it's like, oh wow, they did a Coyote swap. Oh wow, by like the 10th one, you're like, oh, let me guess, a Coyote swap.
Let me guess the Coyote swap. Yes. All the components that we make and sell are what we put this together with. And so our kit puts a motor in it. This is our radiator. This is, you know, this is our brake kit and all that kind of stuff. So all these are components that someone can actually buy and do their own Coyote swap if they want it.
Nice.
So it was designed for this kind of a build. I would say Coyote swap. This is, we're helping a person out, fix up the front suspension.
Coyote swap.
This is a Coyote swap. No, I'm joking.
I've seen one.
We should do it.
Did you see the one that I did?
I've seen it.
Dude, that thing is crazy.
Yep. This is going to go to the get down tomorrow. We've got twin turbo. Do you want to see the twin turbo?
No, let's not look at that one. Yeah, we could skip that one. What's up with the hood and the front bumper and the grill?
Yes.
Whoa. What's going on?
It's going to be
that looks kind of like a Shelby.
Shelby GT 500-ish kind of. So
by the way, you guys, I haven't seen this stuff before, so like he's showing it to me the first time, so you're seeing it as I'm seeing it.
All right.
Ooh.
This is a Gen 2 twin turbo airbag, and the hood's really heavy because
the shocks aren't plugged in.
Yeah, we're not. And basically, we're just mocking all this stuff up. This will lay frame.
Wow.
And it'll be super awesome when it's all done.
Dude, it looks so cool. Got the mirror turbos on there. Lost CO2 intake. What are those? MMR valve covers?
Yes, they are.
Wow. How much power are you guys going to be trying to push?
So I'm not a high number person. Okay. I'm a reliability person and fun. There's a point where you cross a threshold and you can't actually drive that anymore. But our turbos aren't very big, but also we didn't want to have lag. And so we tried to spool these just the right size where it can be fun, but we should have about 800 to the rear wheels.
That's more than enough.
Which is, we should be plenty.
Cause like, for example, I'm good friends with Ross at Jack Speed Shop.
Yeah.
His truck put down on the dyno, like I think 1200 to the wheel, 1600 to the crank, but he only has it tuned to 650 because he's like, I can't drive it with anything more.
You can't.
So then why spend all the money?
Exactly. So the hope is that, you know, it'll
be drivable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another Coyote swap. This has an LS in it. Now this is all an older quarter-built air ride suspension with old ride tech on it that he's been having troubles with. And Porterbuilt makes the kit to actually get rid of all the air ride and turn it into coilover. So that's what we're going to do for this guy.
Huh.
Just coilover.
Nice.
Keep it simple. And Pierce under here. He works for us, and he's trying to lower the back end of his truck because he had about an 8-inch rake on it this morning.
Oof.
So I think he's trying to lower it down. An old Big 10, whatever. I guess it's a Chevy, but square body. The square body madness, right?
Dude, they're blowing crazy right now.
They're crazy.
Wow, look at that sunset outside. You guys can see this. That's a beautiful sky.
A beautiful sunset. We got another airbag chassis here. We got another truck in the corner that this is actually belongs to a client up in Utah, and it's about 90% body work and done. I'm waiting for the chassis on this.
It's a 67?
68.
Okay.
And it's 4-wheel drive. And so the 4-wheel drive will be debuting our first 4-wheel drive chassis with this truck.
Oh, wow.
And so in about a month we'll have that here. We'll do one final mock-up with all the body work to make sure all that's good. And then we'll get the motor installed and do a little bit of plumbing. And then we're basically at that point, this will go, you'll see this probably, if they have SEMA, you'll see this at SEMA next year, 2021. So
no one's saying for sure a SEMA truck anymore.
I don't know. We're scheduling it based on that.
Don't count your eggs before they hatch.
Don't count your eggs before they hatch, but we'll see what happens. I would hope by then.
Yeah.
I would hope by then.
We would hope.
I would hope.
If the world hasn't come to an end.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. I think the only thing left at this point is we should go for a ride in the 76.
Done. Let's go.
Do it. All right.
I didn't even know we were gonna do this. How about the front office? Where's Dan sit? Or it's not clean, so we shouldn't go. I don't know.
Listen, we'll go. I'll
We'll
show
go?
you what it looks like.
All right.
Our office is small. We've outgrown it. We're gonna move in about 4 months. Probably.
Okay. But we're still gonna do a ride though, right?
Still gonna do it.
All right.
So I'll just let it charge for like that. All right, so coming here, it's a little messy because they went to the sit down. Dan sits here, Max sits here. If you owe us any money, then Hope sits in here. And then I'm in here. And
Ooh, I like the wall art.
yes, and
Nothing
then,
like some Max.
and then our social media guy sits there.
Keep an eye on him.
I can keep an eye on him. He's kind of part-timer, so he gets a little spot in here.
Nice.
But we're out of space. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in here, and it's too crowded.
What's going on over here?
So,
A little 3D print action.
yeah, 3D print.
Nice.
This right here, believe it or not, it's gonna come off.
Test headlight bezel.
But this is a headlight bezel for Gen 1 Broncos.
Nice.
So this is our prototype, and we'll kind of dial in the design, the look, and then at the end of the day we'll basically send it out and have it machined.
Nice. Now we can go for a ride.
Now we can go for a ride.
I'm about it.
All right.
So you guys saw it when we did the first ever What the Truck video on that, but we didn't go for a ride then. Ooh, it got cold.
We're gonna take Solomon for a quick little ride.
You guys remember this truck? Here, for the guys that don't know this truck, let's give a walk around first.
All right, so this is a 1976. You probably can't see it, but it's supercharged. Fun little truck. And it's got a 4-inch lift, 35-inch tires. It's got some fuel wheels on it, painted, very clean. This is actually the factory truck color that it came.
Oh wow.
So factory silver. We modified the white slightly because the factory white was a little too yellow. They didn't go perfectly with the silver. And so we went a little more on the white side, and then redid the interior. And I'm gonna take this around the block, Andy, just one time.
Yeah, that's fine. A lot of us are heading out, so the plan is 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, do we start rolling stuff in or what?
No, they're gonna stay. They got stuff to do.
Okay.
Nice. We're gonna go for a ride. Ooh, wow. I need to put those steps on my truck. Man, comfy. So this truck has Mustang seats, and they made the brackets. I got them in my truck, but these seats feel way more comfortable than mine do.
Well, we've reupholstered them and everything.
It's got a rumble right here.
Not gold dust.
No, it doesn't feel like it either. How much does this thing have?
You know, it's about 500 to the wheels.
That's a lot.
Big old truck like this.
Bad idea. Now I can't go back into like a slow truck. Gosh. Pretty quick. It really is. Dude, that the supercharger is winding so good.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
And the truck feels really tight.
Yeah, it runs. It's really good.
Whoa. This thing really puts you back in your seat. Like,
Yeah,
for real.
No, it does. It's the real deal. The owner hasn't even come over to see it and drive it. I wish he would, but
Where's he from?
he lives here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see it.
Yeah. All right, so I gotta go change my shorts.
Here we are.
Man, that thing just woke me up. Who needs coffee when you can go for a ride in a supercharged Coyote truck?
I've actually got Ford Engineering working on it. Oh, good.
Well,
I think there's a software.
Jason, where can everybody find you?
All right, so Gilbert, Arizona. We're also on Instagram, Fat Fender Garage. We got a YouTube channel, Fat Fender Garage. We also have Facebook, Fat Fender Garage. There's also F100 Coyote swaps that we actually manage, but I try not to poke my nose in it too much. You know, if you guys are gonna try to put porn on it, I'm gonna kick you out of there. But there's weirdos out there. I'm like, seriously? But,
Post Coyote swap trucks.
Yes.
Or questions.
Yes. And so, definitely you can email us at info@fatfendergarage.com or just call the office down here.
What's the number?
I don't know. I never call myself. 480-621-6072. If that doesn't work,
I'll put the right number on the screen.
Google us. But anyways, we have a good time here. Honestly, I hope you had a good time checking us out, checking the shop out. It's fun here. We work really hard during the day, and we try to go play. And we're gonna go play a little bit this weekend at the Get Down. I'm glad we're able to have the show because there's a chance it might not go through, and maybe in another 3 or 4 weeks it might not go through, as the numbers with COVID seem to be going up even here in Arizona, which, you know, we got under control. So it's unfortunate, but I look forward to, you know, we just move forward. That's all you can do is just move forward. You know, I don't think we're ever going to go back to the way things used to be, but I do think we have to press forward with whatever new normal we come into. We have to continue to press forward in life and continue to move forward and just get used to whatever it is that's there. And maybe things will get easier for us, which I hope, and we can enjoy some of those things that we used to do in the past. But move forward. Don't look back. Keep moving forward, and life will be good for you.
Jason, thank you so much for showing me around.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
And for all you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. This was pretty long and intensive, but we got to see the whole shop. So like, subscribe. If you got any questions, comments, drop them below. Catch you in the next video later.